Hey up everyone, Magpie Gaming here. I hope you're all doing well. In this video we're going to discuss what's happened to the Cycle Frontier and why that game is shutting down. So last night while I was at work, I did as I usually do on my breaks. I opened up my phone, went onto YouTube, and there was a video from Big Fry where he was discussing the shutting down of the Cycle Frontier. And I was quite surprised to see this. I knew that the game had been having issues, but I didn't realise that it was as bad as meaning it had to shut down. So I watched Big Fry's video. I've got to say I agree with the vast majority of what he said in that video regarding the shutting down of the Cycle Frontier and why it's happened. And he goes into talking at length about the business model of the game and ultimately that being one of the contributing factors as to why this game hasn't made it. But I think for me that's a completely different subject and I'm not going to go into anything like that in this video. We're just going to have a look at the statement that Jaeger, the developers of the Cycle Frontier, have put out, and they've given their reasons as to why this game is going to shut down in September of this year. So we'll have a look at that and I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it too. So they start off the statement saying, "Today we sadly have to deliver difficult news that we are sharing with a rather heavy heart. Despite our best efforts and meaningful improvements brought to the game since launch and upon the release of Season 3, the reality is that the Cycle Frontier is unfortunately not financially viable. This brings us to the heartbreaking announcement: the Cycle Frontier will be sunset on September the 27th, 2023. This is a very hard decision for us, but after debating it for a long while, we had to accept this is the best course of action for Jaeger." And then they go into length about what's actually happened, and I was just going to paraphrase bits of this, but I think I'm going to go through the full thing because there is some good information in it and you get an idea of why they definitely think this game has gone. So they start off with, "When we started developing the Cycle Frontier, we wanted to offer an approachable, free-to-play extraction shooter where FPS fans of varying skill experience a satisfying balance of tense, high-stakes gameplay and rewarding progression. We first had 2 closed alphas and betas with decent results, but we were not prepared for what happened next, as our final beta and official release have been met with incredible success and enthusiasm. Big streamers caught wind of the game and started playing it before hundreds of thousands of viewers. Players started flocking en masse towards the Cycle Frontier, which caused our servers to blow up and forced us to urgently upscale our infrastructure. In case you're wondering, that's a very good problem to have. All in all, things were looking up for the Cycle Frontier, even though we still had a long road ahead of us. The general behaviour with online games after a good launch is a couple of nice weeks, then a dwindling interest until stabilisation after a few months. During perhaps one of the most important periods of a live game, we faced many challenges. One of them, and perhaps the most crucial one, was the increasing number of cheaters. Shortly after the Cycle Frontier went live, although we had tools and measurements in place, we quickly realised we needed to improve our anti-cheat efforts to be able to ensure a fair game experience for all players. By the time we got additional partners on board for our anti-cheat efforts and could focus again on gameplay and performance improvements, the Cycle Frontier, many of you had already been affected. As a result, we saw a significant decrease in our player base. Season 2 didn't generate enough attention to kickstart the game again, therefore we've critically reviewed if the current state of the Cycle Frontier was in line with our initial vision. In a word, it wasn't. So we needed to correct our course. That's why we announced the end of the global mandatory wipes, along with the introduction of a free loadout runs. Loadouts, presets, changes to game, early experience, all in an effort to make the game more approachable. Just to be clear, this seemed to convince many players and we saw an increase in our success metrics with the release of Season 3. Unfortunately, it was still not enough to make the Cycle Frontier financially viable." And then they go on to tell people, current players, what will be happening with it. There's a quick timeline. They say all servers will shut down on September the 27th at 9 AM Central Eastern Time. All real money purchases disabled as of June the 28th, 2023. Refunds will be issued for any real money purchases made after 3 AM EDT on June the 14th, 2023. Daily and weekly offers in-game discounted at least 95%. Free premium FORTUNA pass and discounted level skips, and overall progression accelerated. And then I give a little message over what's going to happen next with the guys at Jaeger. They say, "Working on the Cycle Frontier has been an invaluable experience for Jaeger. We were presented with the amazing opportunity to work on a unique project on a large-scale online game. We were also fortunate to make the acquaintance and talk to many of you, to countless players, creators and other developers. This experience will not go to waste, of that we can assure you. We are making sure to learn as much as we can from everything that went right and, perhaps more importantly, all of our mistakes and shortcomings. We will will now shift our focus to new projects using all the valuable experience, learnings and feedback we gathered. Make sure to sign up to our newsletter, follow our official Steam page and to keep an eye on our official website. One very last point we want to mention: we are incredibly grateful for all your support and dedication. We do think we've created something beautiful, but none of this would or even could have happened without each and every one of you. We are proud of our community, wish you all the best in your future endeavours, and we hope to see you all again. Enjoy your time in Fortuna Free, and as always and more now than ever, don't forget, Fortuna favours the bold. So it is a shame personally that this game is shutting down. I think that when I first played the Cycle Frontier, it was when it became public last year. I think it was June or July last year, and it came about at a time where a lot of Tarkov streamers were a little bit bored with the way Tarkov was. I think that at that point we were waiting for a wipe, so a lot of Tarkov streamers jumped on the bandwagon with it being an extraction shooter, and I think that's one of the main reasons this game blew up so quickly. But like the guys at Jaeger say, it's not a bad problem to have. They quickly added more servers so that it could handle the number of people playing, and it gained huge popularity. We only have to look at the Steam stats to show that. Yes, June 2022, it hit 40,690 players in its peak at that point. In the July, it dropped off to 25,000, and then there was incremental drops all the way down to December 2022, where it sort of leveled out at around 2,500. And then, as they say, they changed the way the game worked. They got rid of the wipes, they added in free loadouts, and that brought people back. It went up to 8,000, 10,000, but then obviously it's dropped off again, and as they say, they just haven't got past the issue of cheaters in the game. And I think that once they'd managed to quell that, obviously a lot of people had already experienced cheaters in the game and wasn't going to go back. So it's kind of one of those things where first impressions last. So unfortunately it is going to close. Now, they did do some videos on their YouTube channel. One of them was regarding cheating. They addressed it personally by one of the developers, and he laid out what they were doing to combat that. They were bringing additional people in, they were working closely with BattleEye, but we all know as Tarkov players what issues Tarkov has, and they use BattleEye as well. So could it be that it's BattleEye that is the issue? Now, I do know that when you use BattleEye on your game, there are different tiers of security that you can add in. Obviously, there's going to be like a basic package, then there's going to be like the premium package. I would assume that since these guys were obviously looking for financial viability, any game is looking for that at the end of the day, but obviously they were looking for financial viability and to have payback for the development that had gone in. I'm guessing that maybe they went for the basic package and it just wasn't enough. I don't know. It's something that we probably will never know. But they did also put a system in place where if you were killed by a verified cheater, you would get a compensation package back, so you would get a loadout back. I don't know if that would be the one that you lost to the cheater or it was just like a standard one that they handed out. I think that's a sweet little thing to add into the game. I think that's pretty good. I think that's something that Escape from Tarkov could maybe add in. Obviously, they now have a system in where if you verify a cheater, you are given a message to say, you know, the guy that you reported was indeed a cheater and is now banned. But to get something back for that, I think that's a great little move. I think that was a good thing that Jaeger put into the Cycle Frontier. But it is a shame that it's gone now, and yeah, you can go and play it. It is obviously free to play. It's going to run until September. I guess some people might go and play it a little bit for a little bit of nostalgia. For me personally, the Cycle Frontier never hit the spot. And that is because at the point where it came about, I was completely and utterly addicted to Escape from Tarkov. There wasn't anything that was going to make me dump that game for any length of time. I did play the Cycle Frontier. I enjoyed what I played. It was a complete contrast to what you got in Escape from Tarkov. Obviously, that game's very dark, very gritty, whereas the Cycle Frontier was just like rainbow jizz in your eyes. It was so colourful. It was a lot different to what I was, used to. It had some good mechanics in it. Obviously, there's 6-hour sort of raid cycle was one of the things that I liked the most about it, and I think that's something that might crop up in other extraction shooters. Obviously, with Escape from Tarkov, the raid you go in is very static. It lasts for 35 to 45 minutes and then it's gone, whereas this was a persistent 6-hour cycle. You could extract from it and go back into it as many times as you liked, and I like that idea, and I think that's something that will be copied by other games going forward. So obviously, for instance, dropped loot that you maybe didn't extract in one point, you'd be able to go back in and maybe find again and then eventually extract with. That's a cool mechanic, and I think that will be repeated in other games. But yeah, that's it for the Cycle Frontier. It's a shame for the guys at Jaeger. Hopefully, they say they're going on to other projects. I hope that none of them are out of work, and if any of them are out of work because of this, I wish them, you know, to get back into work very speedily. I don't wish anybody to be out of a job, especially with the current climate around the world, with the cost of living and everything. So hopefully those guys will move on to other projects very quickly. But yeah, that's an extraction shooter that bites the dust, and it's surprising. I didn't think it was going to go that way for them, but it has. So anyways, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this. Did you like this game? Did you see this coming? Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.